Hey, this is Frank Nieto with Vision Quest Auto, and today I'm going to review the brand new Buick Envista Avenir SUV. And the cool thing about this car is this looks really nice. It is from Buick, which is one of it's the car brand that's not quite luxury, but it's not, well, a non-luxury vehicle. It fills that nice gap that I call upscale. And so this is a really nice upscale SUV. It's stylish. It has all the features that you would really want. It handles well. It's incredibly quiet. It's got a lot of passenger space in the rear and in the front, to be honest, just a ton of good passenger space. Solid cargo space. And the best part is it won't break the bank. This particular model is about $31,000. And the impressive thing about that is this is the top of the line model. So if you're coming in, you want something a little bit cheaper, you're looking in the low 20s. It's a great deal. Last week, I reviewed the Ford Maverick and I said that that might be the bargain in the auto market. It might just have been beaten by this. This is a great car. It's a great value. I'm going to tell you more about it, so let's get to it. Got these cat eyes headlights they've been around in cars like the Jeep Cherokee for a few years now, but new to Buick, still a standout. Not necessarily my style, but a lot of people really like them. This is an Avenir, which is the top of the line. So again, this is a great value, but there are still going to be some corners cut. As you can tell, these are just alloy wheels. They're not anything really fancy. They look nice, get the job done, but they're not necessarily as nice, fancy as you'd find in something with a higher price tag. So again, Buick had to make some concessions to get a car in at this price level. But they did get it at this price level, which is what's the most impressive part. It's got this rounded shape. It's an attractive car. It's a stylish car. Not necessarily my style. I like it, but um, it is stylish. It has a look that's pretty unique, especially at this price point. I mean, I think that's the real standout feature of this car is the fact that you get this much car for this starting price, which is crazy. I mean, that's a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money for a luxury car or near luxury car. As you can tell, it's got a nice flat bottom steering wheel. It's not sporty, but I do like that. I do appreciate that Buick put some thought into this. It's got a digital display. It's not the biggest, but again, it gets the job done. It has all the information you'd need right there in front of you. It's not most customizable, though. I will just say that. It's got a nice size infotainment screen. Gives you all your information, including right here. It would tell you if your phone's charging. I don't have my phone on the charger right now. There is the wireless charger right down there. But if you have it in there, it'll tell you all about it. It has your information on your car, your home screen. It's a nice screen. It's a very easy to use infotainment system. The climate controls are easy to use. You have physical buttons, which I think most people would appreciate, especially Buick buyers who, you know, they're looking for that luxury thing, and sometimes they skew a little older. Uh, again, this is nice. This isn't real leather, but it has a nice look. It's nice materials. Again, this is plastic, but it has a metallic look to it. Just a really sharp vehicle. I appreciate that. That's cool that they sewed in Avenir into the seat, the front seat headrests, which is cool. Yeah, it's an attractive car. It's a stylish car. Gives you a lot of bang for your buck. Um, you know, and again, this also has a sunroof, which you can see up here. It's not the biggest sunroof, but again, it is a sunroof. It's not the biggest car, so I don't think you necessarily need the biggest sunroof. So it's pretty good. I'm actually going to leave that open so we get some more light in here. I'm going to take you into the back. Here's how you will open up your your hatch, and it's customizable with max, three quarters, off. Never understood why he'd want off, but hey, there you go. Again, just nice materials. It's very plastics heavy, but still good materials. A lot of passenger space here in the second row. Uh, really, really surprising to me for a car this size that you get this much space. It's actually really, really nice. You have a USB A, a USB C charging ports back here. You've got a little cubby. You don't have, as you can see, there's not another. Um, up here there's not another sunroof that goes back. It's a little bit darker, to be honest, in this back seat. um, Smaller storage spaces. There's not um, air vents, which is another con that we had just recently on the Bronco. So this is a similar feel, not a lot. So that's a disappointment. But again, I'll repeat myself. This is a value pick, but that is something that's missing because that should be in most cars, I feel like. Um, so that's a ding. That is not our award winner for John Cena. You can't see me award though. Uh, nice cup holders in the back here, sizable, and take you to the cargo area here. Now, cargo buttons all the way down on the bottom. So if you're looking for it, you get this car. That's where it's at. It's right down there. Another interesting thing is where they put right up here, where they put the the camera, the rear view camera. So that's kind of an interesting spot. You'll usually see them up above. It's cool they fit that in. So there's a little bit of a gap down here, and it shows out there. So it's kind of a cool placement. Not sure, pretty good amount of storage space. Not outstanding, but solid. Hard to not think that this is a really great value. Now, the award for the John Cena award for You Can't See Me is this. It has hatch. It is sloped back, so theoretically, water and snow, ice should drift off, fall off here, but I'm disappointed that you don't have a rear wiper. That's something that I just think that most SUVs should have. Again, cost cutting measure. It's not the end of the world, but it would be nice. I want to take you back around to our other award winner for the Fat Guy in Little Coat Award, which is for something that doesn't quite fit. It's a good idea. Like I said, it's got a lot of physical controls, but right here, there's the power, the infotainment, stereo system, power button, um, and volumes control, which is nice, but I just don't like where it's at. It's in a weird spot. It just kind of stands out. My eyes tend to gravitate to it. Not the worst thing in the world, but it really doesn't fit, in my opinion. So, one of the surprising, not so surprising things about the Envista is that it is not a performance machine. You wouldn't expect this from a Buick anyway. It's been a long time since Buick was in the racing circuit. It's been a long time since Buick was known for having any kind of performance level cars. But what it does have is a really smooth and quiet ride. And actually, the turning radius is something else that surprises me. Not just the turning radius, but the way it turns in traffic. Its handling is actually really solid. I wouldn't call it athletic. I wouldn't call this a race car by any stretch of the imagination. But it turns really well. It has pretty pinpoint turning. It has really smooth ride, quiet ride. It's a ride that unless you're looking to be a speed demon, you're really going to enjoy. So it's just been really really solid. I've been very happy with it. Um, one thing that I do wish it had, it doesn't have auto hold, which is a bit surprising. It doesn't have automatic forward braking. Um, but for the most part, this nails everything that you'd really expect to get in a car like this, especially a car like this at this price point. Just really does a solid job. I'm very surprised that Buick could come out and deliver at this level, to be honest. It's something that we didn't think was possible. Now we've seen a couple of American auto manufacturers come out with very affordable cars that are really great, to be honest. I'm talking about Tesla with the Model 3, the Model Y, talking about Ford with the Maverick, and now Buick with the Envista. Said this isn't a performance machine. You're not going to get the crazy handling, but also you're not going to get great acceleration. It's solid. It's not, I wouldn't say this is like the slowest vehicle, but it's not fast by any stretch of the imagination. It doesn't lack for pickup once it gets going though. And by that I mean once you hit about 19, 20 miles per hour, it no longer struggles. It can get you up to highway speeds pretty quick. But if you're having to merge from a stop, um, it's going to struggle a little bit more. So keep that in mind. I wouldn't say that this isn't a vehicle that you could take on the highway, because I absolutely think that this is a car that you can take on the highway and he'll have no problem getting there. It gets great mileage. We're talking over 30 miles per gallon. It gets a ton of great mileage. Handles great. Got a ton of great um, features in it. So I think that it's a really, really solid value.
Song that I think this car is you know, Still the Same by Bob Seger, Detroit's own Bob Seger. This car is, of course, a product of General Motors, headquartered outside of Detroit. Buick continues to make cars the same way that with the same ethos that they've had for about 100 years, which is make upscale affordable cars. And with this, they hit it out of the park, and it really goes and punches above its weight. Um, it's really impressive. This is something that I just didn't think I'd see. That, obviously I've pointed out that there are some things that are, oh, you might expect this, or you might want this. Not so much expect this, but want this. But, you know, costs have to be maintained in some way to meet this price point. And I don't think that Buick and General Motors have really cut costs at places where you'd really miss things. So, there you go. Still the same. That's this car.
So that concludes our review for this week on the Buick Envista Avenir, and I want to thank you for watching. I hope you found this useful. If you did, would appreciate it if you please subscribe and like, share, follow. You can find us on YouTube under Vision Quest Auto. Instagram is the same handle. You can also find us on Twitter X under the handle Vision Quest A. For Vision Quest Auto, I'm Frank Nieto. I'll see you around.